According to the Mail on Sunday, the Duke of Sussex is chatting with people, this is a quote, from his old life and potentially plotting his return to the UK. Now, it's suggested Harry could spend more time in the UK to repair his relationship, perhaps with his dad, and potentially look at returning, at least partially, to some of the royal life. Would you like to see Harry come home? Nina?
Absolutely, of course. I would like to see Harry come back if he wanted to, but I would not want him to come back and be unhappy. As I've said many times and over the last few years, Harry and Meghan were pushed out by the royal family because they were more popular than William and Kate.
I think that's why.
They were more popular than William and Kate, and that could not be allowed to continue. And so they were pushed out of this country and pushed out of the royal life that they knew. I think that the royal family now is so sadly depleted. King Charles is battling cancer. William and Kate are in a tricky situation because Kate is also battling cancer. I know Charles had talked for many years about slimming down the monarchy, and it's been slimmed down for them. We have nobody. They keep trying to put people up. Here's Beatrice and Eugenie. What do we think about them? No. I mean, they say, what about the Zara, whatever her name is, and her husband. Australia's taken them to their hearts. Any Australian goes, who the hell are they? No, so who are they?
They're not getting anybody that packs a punch the same way that Harry and Meghan did.
No. Harry has an enormous charisma and warmth. And
well, he was the favourite for a very, very long
Absolutely.
time, and something just seemed to turn, Lynn. Do you think that he could get that back? Do you think if he came back to Britain, he could win over our hearts and minds again? If you think he lost them?
I think if he wants to come back, he needs to explain to the nation why he wants to come back, and did he get it wrong before? Because a part of, I know you're suggesting that they were pushed out, but I think it was a part of their branding. We're leaving the royal family to go our own way. I think Meghan always wanted to be Hollywood. I think also she wasn't aware.
Well, she gave up acting, didn't she? She said she was going to give up.
Yeah,
acting.
but she knew that she was going to get far better limelight being.
I think
in
that's
the royal
really
family.
Unfair to say she just wanted limelight. I do think
if you
look at them as a couple, they are genuinely in love, and they are still in love.
I'm not saying she isn't in love, but you can be in love and still like the limelight. And I do think.
What's the limelight got to do with it?
Because I don't think that Meghan wanted to toe the line insofar as what being an English, a British royal is about.
What's wrong with that? Why not change things? That was the whole reason we loved them, didn't we? That they were a breath of fresh air. They were going to modernise the royal family. Maybe they were going to give us more access to it, be more honest, which they certainly have been.
But I think a lot of the things, fair enough if they had gripes, family gripes or things. We all have contentions in our family. But I think the way they went about airing those things, the interviews that they did...
Too much.
I think it was too much. I think it actually rubbed Britain up the wrong way.
Well, certainly.
And what I actually respected them for is, if you're going to say these things and you're going to look as though you're going against your own family, then yes, leave. Go and be happy in America because the royal family's awful. It has a history of whatever. Fair enough, I'm not disputing any of those points that they made. But then why do you want to come back now, Harry? Have you got it wrong?
Harry's always wanted to serve.
I'm going to put you on pause there. That's a good note to end on. Don't go back to Prince Harry. And now your thoughts. Would you like to welcome him back to the UK? Apparently he's considering a return. 0207 862 2222 is the number. We want to know what you think about this, and we'll go straight to the phone lines and speak to Doug from the West Midlands. You've been waiting over the break. What would you like to say?
Good morning, ma'am. Good morning, panel. There's a couple of points I'd like to make. Firstly, that I was in the forces the same as Harry and the same as Prince Andrew. So they've already showed their integrity, setting aside all the umbrella of glitz and glamour. Secondly, he's a father, and he's a father first, and blood is thicker than water. Harry may well be looked at as the prodigal son, and as our king, and being the head of the church, he goes to church all the time and accepts and understands the role of forgiveness and understanding. And thirdly, that he should be welcomed back regardless into the family.
Doug, it's interesting
and
you say that King Charles is head of the Church of England. Or head of all faiths, I think he is now. He should understand forgiveness. What do you think he should forgive Harry for?
he should forgive everything. I can understand Nina, bless her, that she's got strong views and feelings. Harry is still a son. I've got PTSD. Harry suffered, and without going too much into the depression side of things, and that the guy has struggled, and he's always tried to make the right decisions. And King Charles, as his father and of the head of the church, but as being the head of the family as well, he should accept what his son is and who he is, and should welcome him back. Now, because he's married and he's got children, that obviously, like any other family, brings in another can of worms. But nevertheless, Harry should be allowed back. He should be welcomed back, and then them sort out their problems behind closed doors and not air the dirty washing in public.
Okay, Doug, thank you very much for your call. Peril from Bedfordshire, what's your views on Harry coming back? Do you think it's likely? Do you think the Royals will welcome him back with open arms?
Well, I would welcome him back with open arms. I think he should come back. After all, he goes through a lot as a young boy, and to see he grow up to be a man, married and have his own family. His mum didn't get to see the way he was going to turn out. So why everybody's getting on his case? They should just leave him and let him come back and make it up back with his father. And for the king, he of all person should sit down with him and talk to him as a son and say, we all make mistakes, let's start over again.
What do you think,
this is my
though?
rule.
I mean, it's one thing for his family and his father to invite him back and forgive his misgivings, if indeed that's what you think that Spare in the interview and all the other things were. But what about the British public? Do you think the British public are ready for that? I mean, quite a lot of people in Britain feel that he, turned his back on the UK. He chose America instead of us. He, according to some people, sold his family down the river for a book, for an interview. They're quite pained by that, Peril.
When we make mistake, we all put it down on papers. But I think if the public leave him and keep out of his business and think of their laundry, they would all have time to think of Prince Harry laundry.
Pearl, do you think he should apologise then? Are you saying he should come back and apologise to his father?
He should come back and apologise. I don't see why he should apologise to everyone. It's for him and his father to sit down and talk. And they're going to start all over. And if people just keep out of their life and let them get on with it, everything would be happy.
Do wonder, though, whether the Brits, the British press, will let a member of the royal family just get on with it. I don't think historically we've ever been very good at that, Peril. So if he comes back, he has to, I suppose, sort of expect that there's going to be some press intrusion?
Well, interestingly, because it was the Sun, the Mail in particular, and the Telegraph, who dripped all sorts of poison about Meghan from just before the wedding, and it went on a daily basis for years until they were forced to go. Interesting, the Daily Mail over the last maybe 6 months or so, since the royal family has had its health problems and has been so depleted, there have been the odd story about Meghan in LA that has not been critical. That is just
scathing.
Not at all scathing, just saying, here's Meghan dressed like this, going to lunch with blah, 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 which staggered me because the Mail for years has not been able to write a word about Meghan that is not negative.
So hold on, you think there's some other alternative motive, a plan?
Dipping a toe in the water. Just changing the tone.
I do agree they were quite awful to her.
Preparing the grounds in case they come. And while we're just to remind people, while we're talking about should Harry apologise, what should he apologise for, selling his father or his family down the river, he wrote a book called Spare, which told his side of the story. Now, that's not done in isolation. His mother did a book, and so did his father, so did Charles. They both wrote a book about...
But perhaps it didn't go into quite as much detail as Harry's. Harry's was very honest.
And so was Diana's.
Okay.
So was Diana's. So he's done nothing that's not been, that his parents
before.
did not to.
All right. Peril, thank you very much for your call. Dorothy from Leeds, what's your view on this? Will you be welcoming Harry back with open arms?
I would welcome Harry and his family, and that's the point, Harry and his family. But I think the nation, the majority of the nation, would not welcome his wife, and that would cause the destruction of his marriage and also with his children.
Dorothy, that's interesting that you think that it would, instead of make them just move back and do this whole story again, that actually you think it could destroy his marriage. Do you not think Harry would just go, look, if you're not going to accept me and my family, I'm off again?
Well, that would be it. He either decides not welcome, stays with his family, or his family is welcome with him. But
Why do you think that his family won't be welcome?
Meghan wouldn't be welcome.
Why?
Because she's black.
Oh, you think it's just down to race?
Yes.
Do you agree with that, Lynn?
No, I do think that the press and the tone was racially motivated, driven towards her. Okay. I agree with that, but I don't think it stops at race. I think that it's because there's many elements, because she's a divorcee, because she's American, because she was an actress in underwear that everybody's seen. I think there's many reasons. Also, the issues that Harry has now come out with against his family, he's done it in a time span that makes it look as though she's instigated it. And that's why I think people have an issue with Meghan. She's supported him going against his family.
All right, Dorothy, thank you very much for your call. Interesting point there. Pat from Bridgend, what's your view? Do you think we would welcome Harry back? Do you think we would welcome his wife and his children too?
I'm sure the majority would welcome him back. I certainly wouldn't. I'm quite happy he's off toddling around the United States and doing lots of TV reports or whatever they're doing. I mean, he left stating that they had no privacy, they didn't want to be in the limelight. And every time I turn on the telly, there's something about Prince Harry there.
But do you think that's Prince Harry's fault, or do you think that that's our interest in him?
I think it's both. I think they both like being in the limelight, and they're concerned when they're not in the limelight. And all this business about blaming William for the breakup, I think, is nonsense. I think William and Kate are doing what they're supposed to do as royals, and they're doing their duty. I don't think Harry had any intention of doing his duties.
Pat,
always been a fun guy.
Pat, can I just ask you, when you say that you don't think Harry had any intention of doing his duty, I mean...
No, I didn't say that.
You just said Harry had no intention
of doing their duty.
Yes, you said they were doing you said that Harry had no intention of doing his duty. Hasn't,
Not since... Now, I know you're going to bring up... Yes, he was a soldier, but he was a protected soldier,
I think that's a little unfair, Pat. He did see the protection he got was only because
service.
He saw active service, and he served this country for 10 years. Now that's
fair enough, but to leave this country and write what he did in his novel or his book.
Prince Harry plotting a UK comeback. That's the latest spin from the British tabloids, but let's set the record straight. The same media that drove Harry and Meghan out is now floating desperate rumors about his return. And why? Because the monarchy is crumbling without them. Let's be real. Harry and Meghan were pushed out because they outshined the so-called future king and queen. The royal institution, backed by a biased press, couldn't handle their global popularity. Now, with King Charles and Kate Middleton facing health struggles, suddenly, the press wants to act like Harry's return is inevitable. It's laughable. And the Meghan hate? It's the same tired smear campaign. They call her Hollywood obsessed. But she walked away from acting for love. They claim she craved the limelight, when all she wanted was fairness, dignity, and a family that wouldn't throw her under the bus. Let's be clear. Harry doesn't need to win back anyone. He didn't betray the UK. He exposed the truth. The real question is, Does the royal family deserve Harry's loyalty after everything they put him and Meghan through? It's time to call out the double standards. Harry has always been about service, leadership, and family. If he ever steps foot back in the UK, it won't be to beg for forgiveness, it will be on his terms. If you support Harry and Meghan's journey and want to see real facts, not media lies, hit that subscribe button and drop a super thanks to support the truth. Let's keep exposing the hypocrisy.